Good morning, agents. This is Kevin Lauren. I'm the Director of Marketing and Training here. And today we're going to have a very special webinar about creating Facebook funnels and using our agent marketing tools to do that. Today, of course, we've also got on the line our mortgage partner, Clearview Mortgage, and Bill Seitz. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Kevin. How are you today?
I'm doing great. All right, it looks like we've got a break in the storm here in California, and it's a sunny day where I am. How about you?
It is a beautiful bluebird day down here in Newport Beach, and it's nice to see the sun out for sure. I didn't feel like it was ever going to come back. But,
you can't please us,
re-energizes everybody,
right? if it's we complain if there's not enough rain, and then we complain when it's raining too, right?
Yeah. Well, the weather coupled with the worst Super Bowl I can ever remember. Pretty much it was a low grade weekend.
Right?
It was, yeah.
All right. So Bill, let us know what's going on in the mortgage world. I know we've got just perhaps the best grouping of investors that we could possibly have right now. And so just tell us what's going on.
Yeah. Thank you, Kevin. First of all, I just want to, just welcome a couple new agents to the webinar and to the organization. It's always nice to have fresh faces to the company, and it shows that we're growing and that we're doing the right things. And so I want to welcome Sandra and Leo Garcia. I want to welcome Robert Barksdale, Lawrence Brown, and Para Amersing. I think that's the pronunciation. Sorry, Para, I didn't get that perfect, but I will get it. So welcome, guys, and Sandra to the webinar. We do these webinars because we really, want to provide you guys with, 30 minutes of interactive, good content. Grab your cup of coffee, sit down for 30 minutes. I'm going to usually give some sort of mortgage news or something that I feel is important for you guys. Kevin's going to run through some really good marketing stuff that he's got going for the organization, for the company. And then it's just a way for us to connect once a week. Grab your cup of coffee, sit down. We have a quick powwow, get some good notes and some good information out to you guys. And then you guys are off and running for the week. Or at least the middle of the week. So anyways, that's kind of the purpose we do these for those who have not been on them before or coming on for the first time. So I think it's important that we find the 30 minutes in attendance and make it the attendance, and get your cup of coffee and let's go to work.
Absolutely, Bill.
So real quick, if for those of us who weren't on the last couple of weeks, I did run through just kind of the trends of mortgage and where the rates have been going, and I just want to spend like 30 seconds on that, reviewing that. Kevin, if you could pull up the 10-year Treasury.
Got it.
So we are sitting at basically at 9 o'clock on the West Coast, 12 o'clock on the East Coast, at 2.68 on the 10-year Treasury yield. And I think last week it was about 2.65, 2.67. Right. So really, it's stayed very stable. And that's good news. That means mortgage rates are not creeping up, as so many people have been saying in the news and saying in various media outlets that you guys hear about. So this is, like I said, this is always a good bellwether to indicate where mortgage rates are going. And if you ever want to, if you kind of get into it and you want to be on top of things, you just pull up these charts. You can tell exactly where mortgage rates are going. And why are they tied to the 10-year Treasury? Is because most mortgages are paid off within 7 to 10 years. So that is the closest mark that they actually tie mortgage rates to, as far as the way the yields are going and the way the rates are rising or falling. So anyways, that's that, Kevin. Lastly, before Kevin gets into his awesome Facebook funnel marketing, I want to just review a new mortgage product that we have. I mentioned it last week, and it's investor specific. So this is really for investors that maybe own their own businesses, maybe they've come into some money, maybe they don't show a lot of income, but maybe they got an inheritance. A lot of different scenarios. but it's basically a non-qualified mortgage option for investors, and it's really geared for investors that have really good credit, of course. But the beauty of this product is there's no income verification. So they're not asking for tax returns. They're not asking for pay stubs. They're not asking for any income verification. That's pretty huge. I think we can all agree that a lot of times, the deal gets killed when, we got a guy that owns a business. He's running $1 million through his business. Oh, it looks great. And then he shows he makes $20,000 a year at the end of his tax return.
Right.
And we can't help those people generally, because they're just not showing. They're washing out all of their money, and we all understand why they do that, because they don't want to pay the federal government or the state government a bunch of money. But it does handcuff them when they want to buy something. So it's important that we have some options and we have other ways to help these people, because a lot of times business owners own investment properties. They own, different things that they're doing. And this is a way to kind of circumvent the traditional qualified mortgage. There's no cash flow test on this product. So they're not going to, underwriting, look at the, the revenue or the rents. They're not going to do basically a rent review or, a cash flow analysis. So that's nice as well. No assets or reserves. So you're not going to have, X amount of dollars in the bank at closing that they're going to mandate that they want to see a certain amount of money in the bank account of the buyer. This is an interesting stipulation, which there's obviously some reason for it, but they must own their primary residence and they must be on title. So if they're buying an investment property, our investor wants to see them actually own their current property where they're living and be on title. And then just a couple of little things, little details here. There's some arms available if the investor wants to do an adjustable rate on the term. That's fine. Max 80% max loan to value on a purchase, 75% on a refinance, 70% on cash out, and then there is a three-year prepay on these, so which can be bought out. And as you probably understand, it sounds too good to be true. Oh yeah, there's a prepay. Well, the bank's going to get something somewhere, but the rates are reasonable. If you guys have any scenarios, please call me, run it through. I'll walk. We'll run through the scenario together. I'll find out and get pricing on it, and we can see if it's a viable option for your investor. And the reason that I bring these things to your attention is I think it's super important to fully understand the business of real estate. If you're just, doing that's fine. If you've got your niche and you're just cranking along and where your little sweet spot is, that's great. But so many times as we're talking to people, we hear people talking to investors, I can't get a mortgage because that maybe they have money, they have assets, but they feel like they can't get a mortgage. They can't get financing. Well, you can be the person to say, yeah, let me call my guy. I think we can get you a loan and maybe you get the deal. So anyways, that's it for me, Kevin. Super excited to hear your Facebook funnel information right now.
Yeah.
And if anyone has anything or have any needs at all, please, you can email me, text me, call me, whatever's your preference, and I will certainly help you out.
Perfect. Bill, thanks so much for coming on the webinar. We always appreciate your insight into the mortgage world. And with that, we are going to dive into our presentation. And also, we've got on the line this morning our corporate broker, Travis Breton. Let me bring Travis on the line. Travis, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Kevin. How's it going?
Fantastic. Really excited about this webinar because this is, kind of the holy grail of real estate marketing is getting leads. And so this is one way to get those internet leads. And so there's tons of talk about it and a lot of people don't really understand it. So I'm going to show you step by step, or we are going to show you step by step how to build the funnel using our agent marketing platform, which I've got up on the screen, and using that in conjunction with Facebook advertising. So that's how we do this. So without further ado, the way that we start this is with a squeeze page. So I'm going to show you where the squeeze pages are in our agent marketing platform. They are in leads and then squeeze pages here. And so this is one of our great agents up in the Castaic area, Marcella Kosin, and she's got a couple squeeze pages built, but I'm going to show you how to build one from scratch. And we can just take a look at this if you want. We can, look at this little, that's an example of a squeeze page, right? So let's just go ahead and there's a lot of different kinds of squeeze pages that you can create. So one of the squeeze pages is, like just an IDX search. Okay, so like search for the most recent homes in Castaic would be an example. So in order to do that, we would click on this new, add new, and they've got 9, different squeeze pages that you can build. Some of them are just pretty general and you can kind of put whatever information you want in there. But in our experience, the most, the squeeze pages that work the best and convert the best are IDX pages, as well as we also have another system that we use that creates a squeeze page that is more like this, which is what's your home value worth? So that's a completely different kind of squeeze page that we use with a different kind of a system. But within the agent marketing system, we've got these that work pretty darn good. So Travis, what of the squeeze pages would you say is the best to use?
Really, I mean, there's a lot that you can do with these, just depending on what you're trying to target.
Right.
I'm sure you come across, the sponsored posts in Facebook. I know I get them a lot. I get a lot of the IDX search type. What are basically targeted for my area. Hey, find all the homes under 600,000 in Carlsbad, California. Click here, kind of thing.
Right.
So that would be the IDX search page.
Yeah.
Sell your home fast. Obviously you're trying to get some listing leads there. These ones are a little more tough to get leads in. Listing leads are not quite as easy as buyer leads, but these do work. Just depending on how you have it targeted and how that squeeze page is set up.
Right.
Pre-qualify. Maybe you're looking for you're putting ads out for first-time home buyers or down payment assistance programs. That's probably the form that you would want to use to try and generate someone that doesn't quite know if they can buy a house yet, but is interested.
Yes.
So obviously that's a great buyer to try and get because they're not working with anybody yet. Probably they haven't even talked to a lender, so you can get them over to your preferred lender and kind of start them on the process there. So
yeah,
there's really just a lot of different ways that you can target people with these little squeeze pages.
For sure. And so really it does come down to the copy on the advertisement that we actually put on Facebook. And so I'll get to that next, of course. So just for our example today, and there's, like Travis said, there's a lot of different squeeze pages and a lot of different angles you can take in order to drive traffic to our systems here. So for the sake of the webinar today, let's go ahead and build an IDX search page. And so we click the IDX, click the next step. And this is really cool, guys. So we can create, what we're going to do is we're going to create our own URL. And so this is, I'm going to use her example, which is Castaic. So I'm going to put something like Castaic Homes. And so what's going to do, it's going to turn into castaichomes.areasearch.org. So that's going to be the URL of our landing page. That's the web address of our landing page. The second thing what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that any leads that come through this are added to my CRM. So of course, we want anybody that comes in, we want to keep track of these people. We want to be able to get information out to those people once they enter our system. The next thing is we want a lot of you have an assistant. So maybe you want to notify another email or an assistant, or you have a partner that you work with. And then sometimes you want to be sure that once that person comes in, You don't have to think about it. They're going to be added to one of your drip campaigns. And so a lot of you guys that have been following us, you know exactly what that means. Maybe some of the guys on the line, I'll go over what a drip campaign is real briefly. A drip campaign is a series of emails that we give to a prospect that are automated, they're automated through our system, so we don't have to think about it. We know that they're going to get those touches at certain intervals that we can create. So anyway, we want to make sure that they are part of one of our automatic drip campaigns, and we want to be notified via email and a text message to our phones. This stuff is not as important, but if we were trying to do some kind of search engine optimization, we would create a meta title and a meta description. Honestly, it's not the most important thing. And then, of course, we can include a tracking code. Some of you are using Google Analytics, and you can do a tracking code there. Then we submit it. Oh, so this key, so somebody's already used this, so we'll just use Castaic Home search. Well, it's already area home search, so we'll do Castaic. Just Castaic. We'll try that. Somebody's all over Castaic. How about Castaic properties? Oh, I don't think they like that one either. So when in doubt, use your name. Marcellus Homes.
On that option HTML tracking code, can you also put a Facebook pixel in there?
I believe you can. Okay, so that's a great idea. That way you're tracking through Facebook, you're tracking all kinds of great stuff. Okay, so we've got our Castaic Homes landing page, and now we've just got to go ahead and edit it. I know how to edit it, so I'm going to say no. This doesn't look like anything in Castaic, so let's go ahead and we'll change the background. And for, you want to put something that's, first of all, it's a great idea to use a custom background and to use a home in Castaic. I don't have that with me right now, so we're just going to go ahead and use a fairly general image that kind of looks like Castaic, perhaps. So we'll use that. Search new homes. I like to and we'll save the changes there. But on the button, I like to do something a little bit more provocative. Search, how about Castaic homes? Something like that. Save the changes, and now we've got our landing page. So we use our landing page, and let's just go back to our agent marketing area, and let's click on that one more time. So this is CastaicHomes.area home search. Oh, they actually did give us the Castaic Homes, which is great. All right, so now we can copy this. This is our URL, and we can take this over into our Facebook marketing area. And so in Facebook, this is our general Facebook page, but we can actually, I'm a manager on Marcella's page, so let's go and pull up Marcella's page just to show you exactly how this works. Okay, so once you're on your page, you take your URL, and I'm right-clicking and I'm pasting the URL into that area. Now, it normally will give us a nice rendering of an image that came from this particular URL or this particular homepage. If it doesn't, we can create one. So we can put in, some kind of an image, and in a perfect world, it's an image of a home in Castaic. For the sake of building the ad, we'll just put in a nice home. Now we've got a nice home. We've got this link will still click to our landing page that we just built. And now this is the most important part, wouldn't you say, Travis, is creating the provocative language that's going to pop up in that sponsored area that gets someone to actually click onto our squeeze page, right?
Yep.
And this is an art form here. You can spend a lot of time and a lot of effort thinking of interesting ways to get somebody to actually click on it. So like Travis said, he gets a lot of stuff like this, we all do in our Facebook feeds. We've got to kind of separate ourselves from somebody else. That, as well as we've got to be consistent with this kind of marketing. This kind of marketing is not the kind of thing that you just spend $20 on and just see if you and see if you get something. This is something that needs to be built into your overall marketing mix. From day one, you have to set a budget and stick with it. And like Travis says, anything that you're trying, you better be able to, first of all, afford it for at least 6 months. And you need to be able to say, hey, I want to do this for 6 months, right? So Travis, oops, sorry about that, Travis. This is the kind of thing that we spend a lot of time on, right?
Yeah, and this is going to get a little bit of trial and error because even, areas can be different as far as what works in one area may not work in another area. So there is, you may go through a little trial and error. If you're not getting some sort of contact information, form submissions, within, I don't know, what do you say, like maybe 2 or 3 days, then maybe you want to change up your ad copy a little bit.
Yeah.
And see what, hits that button of potential buyer.
For sure. All right, so moving forward, what we'll do is, and I've just got a little thing over here that I'm going to copy. And I'm going to put that away, and I'm going to drop this. So this is a really important thing. Once we have put our URL in here, you'll notice that now I can actually get rid of it, and I can put in my own text. And we don't really want that URL, that web address in that spot. We want something really good. So Facebook allows us to drop the URL in. That registers this post as, okay, image is going to be, a clickable image. And then we're able to, change the copy here. Another thing that's, we study this stuff a lot. Another thing that is really good to do is add an emoji. So, a little house emoji or, something like that. They actually, the studies show it actually does increase. First of all, it looks a little bit nicer when it's coming across in your feed. You see like these little, pictures, but the studies show that we actually do get better click-throughs with the use of emojis. Who would have thought? That's because we are marketing primarily these days to millennials who grew up with emojis and fun stuff like this. So, you can pick out whatever you're talking about in this post. You can pick out some kind of a fun emoji and make sure that you're pleasing the millennials. Let's see here. So something to this effect, we could say something, like, whoops. I have a few pocket listings too. And knowing Marcella, she probably does. But you could say something like that, or whatever you have, whatever is pertains to you and pertains to your market. So I won't go too far into this, but we are going to post this. I'm going to end up deleting it, but we are going to post this. So once you're done with this advertisement, you publish it. So that is this is what it will look like in the Facebook feed. And so you're able to click on the link, and we're on our landing page, or our squeeze page. First of all, this is a interactive webinar, so we do have a chat feature. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to pose those questions in the chat feature. All right, so let's get back to our Facebook advertising. And so from the advertisement, once we have posted it or published it, then we have the opportunity to do what's called boosting the post. And so boosting the post means we're going to get this advertisement out to not just the people that have liked our page. So with our business pages, with our real estate business pages, anytime we just post or publish something, the only people that are going to see that are the people that have liked our page. So in order to get that message out beyond that small grouping of people, we do what's called a boosted post, and it's basically just Facebook advertising. So the way that it works is we are able to select our own targeting. So people you choose through targeting. We always want to select that because we want to have complete control over who sees this advertisement. So in this, let's see, so we're going to edit this. And we don't want people all over California to see this. We only want people to just see this that are close to Castaic. So put in Castaic, California. And around a 25-mile radius around Castaic is probably good because some people that aren't living in Castaic are looking to move to Castaic, right? It's kind of out on the edge of the Los Angeles basin. So we're going to stick with that. That's pretty good. However, notice this, age groups. How many 18-year-olds do you think buy property? Not very many. So the time where people start buying properties is about 30, right? And you could probably even go down to 28, a couple lucky 28-year-olds looking to buy property, up to 65, that's probably pretty good. So within this, notice that our potential reach is 1,200,000 people. Pretty good. The other thing that we can do is we can include demographics or behaviors or interests. So you could, target people that are interested in real estate investing. Real estate development, real estate investment. Whoops. Investing.
Now, how do you feel about targeting people who are interested in websites such as Zillow and Trulia and things like that?
I think that's a good angle.
My thought behind it is, a consumer that's looking on those sites is probably interested or thinking about making a home sale, possibly selling, but making a home sale. So that's one that I put in there.
I like it. And so see what happened when I chose real estate investing as an interest or additional interest. That decreased our potential reach from 1,200,000 down to 80,000. Now there's a couple different schools of thought here. You might be limiting yourself. Not just people that have listed real estate investing on their Facebook profile are looking to buy properties. Some of those people, they don't put anything about real estate investing on their Facebook profile, but of course they're looking to buy a home. So there is definitely a school of thought where you probably shouldn't do this for this kind of broad advertising. However, it's not a bad idea to run split tests and to find out which one works better for you. So you can run this kind of a campaign at the same time as running a campaign where you don't have real estate investing, so, and I really like Travis's idea where you put in, people that are looking for Zillow, or they are interested in Zillow, or they've, so let's see what happens there. That's 280,000 people, Travis. So anyway, you can really spend a lot of time with this kind of stuff, guys, and dialing in your audience. We're not going to do that, but you can see how that works. So the next thing that you do is you select your budget. And so we can say, I want to spend, $100 a day. That thing's going to get out to a lot of people. However, for this kind of advertising, really, I would spend maybe, what would you say, Travis? $50 for 7 days max?
Yeah, you don't have to spend a lot of money. You'd be surprised.
No. Yeah. I mean, and
again, if you're not getting any hits and within a day or two, then, you need to change something. Maybe it's the ad copy, maybe it's the demographic.
No, that's exactly right. And so again, and we're just about out of time here. Again, I want to invite all of you to come on a one-on-one training with me if you're having trouble with this stuff. And I can walk you through it. We can do a screen share and we can walk through exactly how to set this kind of stuff up. But this is the basics. You'll notice here that, you know, in this case, you'd be spending $4 a day, $4.28 a day. That's not a lot. And you know, you can really get some reach, especially if you're doing this for 6 months or a year, or you never stop doing this, especially in your little farm. You're going this in conjunction with regular, you know, other kinds of non-internet advertising, just like, you know, print, sending mailers, door-to-door knocking. When you're doing all of these things in conjunction, you're getting that omnipresence as a real estate agent. So that's what we're looking for here. So any questions in the chat? I don't see any. We're going to wrap it up. But again, I'm just going to pull up our Calendly link. And anybody that wants to schedule a one-on-one training with me, just go to our Calendly link. I'm going to put this in the chat. All right, so that's in the chat. Click on that, guys, and schedule a one-on-one meeting with me, and away we go. Travis, thank you so much for being on the webinar with us today. Bill Seitz, very, very appreciative that you coming on our webinar every week. And agents, get out there, make it a great week, and we'll see you guys on the next webinar next week.
All right, we'll see you later.
Bye, Travis.